Hello. It's after dinner on Tuesday, the 16th, I think, of July. I kind of lose track of time being retired, so I don't really care what the date is much, unless I have an appointment, which I didn't today. So I am doing this video to show my brother Randy some work that I did on a guitar that he apparently owns, or maybe his son owns it, I'm not really sure. This is a kind of a cool Stratocaster. It is a Squier Stratocaster, as you can see from the thing. So that means it's one of the kind of the cheapy Stratocasters. And Randy said that it wasn't easy to play, or was having trouble with it. And I think Jordan has abandoned it long ago, although I kind of like his cool little paint job on it. So here's the deal. I did a bunch of things to it. I replaced a couple of parts. As you can see, I replaced the whammy bar. What I really had to do is I had to go to the hardware store and bring this instrument with me and then try all of the different bolts, regular and metric, to see what fit in this hole tightly. Because my research on this model, because there is a model number on the guitar, serial number, model number, whatever, said that these Chinese-made guitars could have any one of 4 or 5 different kinds of threads and thread patterns and sizes for their tremolo arms, or whammy bars as they're known. So anyway, I found one. It's 6 millimeters. It's a relatively fine thread, 20 threads to the inch, although I'm not really sure if it's metric. Why would it be the inch? Anyway, so this thing works really well. It stays in place. It stays where I put it. So that's what I needed. Okay. And then another thing I did was I bought a plate for the back, because that was missing. Same as the tremolo arm, just missing. Okay. So whatever happened to those things, you know, I guess if you find those, well, keep them. I cleaned it up a little bit, and then I checked the neck for straightness and to see if my relief was correct. Because the way a neck of a guitar is supposed to be, it is not supposed to be absolutely dead straight. It's supposed to have a tiny little amount of bow in it. That when I put a capo up here and I press a string here, right here at the 7th fret, right there at the 7th fret, I should be able to slip a 12/1000th of an inch feeler gauge under that string and touch both the fret and the string at the same time. So when I tried to do that, the neck was overly bowed, and there was at least 2 or 3 times that amount of relief. It was wrong. And so I took the strings off, and I used the truss rod, and it has a 5 millimeter hex key, fits in the truss rod, and I have one of those because that's the same one that the Martin uses, strangely enough. I straightened out the neck. Basically, I made the neck dead straight as I could possibly make it, so that when I laid a straight edge, I have a notched straight edge that misses all the frets, and I could not put a feeler gauge under it here or in the middle, even a 1/1000th of an inch thick feeler gauge. So that's as straight as I could make it. And then I reassembled it all, put new strings on, and then I started working on the string height. And I put the strings where they should be, and where the strings should be is back here where it meets the body. That string should be no more than 5/64 of an inch above the fret. And it was way higher than that. It was like 15/64 of an inch. It was way up. And when I lowered the strings to where they're supposed to be, the strings were hitting the pickups. So I thought, oh, that's fine. I'll just lower the pickups to where they should be. I couldn't lower the pickups because they were hitting the bottom. They were hitting inside. They hadn't routed deep enough for that pickup to go down that far. I'm not sure why, or maybe they routed deep enough and then they put too much shielding paint on top of it. But anyway, the pickups were hitting the bottom and I couldn't make them go down far enough. So I actually had to take it all apart and I had to remove the shielding paint and actually carve just a little deeper for all of those places where the pickups are. Once I did that, then I re-shielded it, okay, and then I could lower the pickups to where they needed to be. And where does a pickup need to be? Well, when I hold a string down, like up here or up here, that pickup should be no more and no less than 1/8 of an inch below the string. And I have a wooden gauge. I don't use a metal gauge because a metal gauge would be attracted by the magnet and would mess things up. So I have a wooden gauge that is calibrated to exactly 1/8 of an inch. And set it up, and it all seems to work fine. So, also, your switch was scratchy as hell. It was really bad every time you moved it. And when I researched that a little bit, they said, well, it's probably just oxidized. And if you used a spray de-oxidizer, you'll probably get rid of that. And if not, you can always switch the switch out. I actually have another 5-way switch like this. So before I replace the 5-way switch, I use that stuff. And here I will play a note. No scratching. So that's as good as it gets. So here's what it sounds like. When I have it on just the rear pickup, it's real bright. Okay, and that is with full tone. I found out that the way these volume and tone knobs work is that the back pickup is this tone knob. The middle pickup doesn't have a tone knob. The front pickup is this front tone knob. And the volume is for everything. Okay, so here's the back. That's position 1, I think. Here's position 2, which is this one and the center one. A little less bright, a little warmer. Here's the middle pickup. Even a little warmer yet. Here is position 4. And then that is this pickup and this pickup. And here is position 5, the front neck pickup. So I have the same configuration on my baritone guitar, but my pickups are not single coil, like these are single coil pickups, which if I were standing in front of that amplifier, they'd be buzzing real loud. But as soon as I get away from the amplifier, apparently the shielding is enough. These lights that I have here, which are LED lights, they don't appear to affect my guitars much or at all. I've noticed that if I have my phone in my pocket, it affects the guitars with a single coil pickup. Humbuckers aren't really not affected by electromagnetic frequencies really at all. Okay, so it holds tune real nice. So the tuning machines seem to all work just fine. They're just standard Squier tuning machines. They say Squier on them. You notice it has a couple of string trees to bring those strings down to the level of the tuning machines, all but for these two, because they're apparently low enough. I basically oiled everything. I re-intonated the guitar, so this should be the same note if I do a harmonic, and then I do the actual note, should be the same one. So it all works fine. I could possibly lower the action even further. I'm not sure. I have it so that there's no string buzz, but on some of them, especially in the middle, if I play really hard, I can hear the tiniest amount of string buzz as the strings that you're really beating on are contacting the next fret up. But it's so slight, and it only happens when you really beat on it, which I never do on a guitar, but you know, some people might. Some people might decide that's a good idea. If I want to play a real, almost a Telecaster sound, I'll put it on the bridge pickup, and then I get a really bright. But if I want to play a more, this is a real common Stratocaster tone. Then if I want something that sounds more like a Les Paul, I'll probably be in position 4, which is these two front pickups. Then I get a much warmer sound. So, unless we want to do some serious cosmetic work and like sand it all off and do all sorts of crap like that, this guitar is ready to rock and roll, literally. And I think that it's probably as good as it has ever been, maybe better. So I'm going to sign off right now. I'm not going to play a song. So have a nice day.